the most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Turn 3 Racing Network, as tonight we are here with OP Racing Grand National Series presented by Butt Kicker. I am your host for tonight. My name is KR Stolfus, and we are underway for round 2 or phase 2 in our championship run. We have eliminated 8 drivers. We are down to the top 8 for the race, and we are kicking it off here at the Bumpy Daytona, or the Legacy Daytona, and this race is the Bumpy Buddy Zach 70. Ooh, man, just 3 races remain in the regular season, or 3 races remain in the season. Holy cow, I'll say it all right sooner or later. So the championship is winding down, and things are starting to get hot and heavy. Andy Brigante in the 13, one of our drivers out on the speedway right now. Let's look at our timing and scoring. And I have made a drastic error. You'll have to give me a second, as I just realized I forgot one aspect of my job, and unfortunately it is a very, very large aspect. Holy cow. All right, with that being said, guys, we're gonna step away for the national anthem and maybe a few more moments. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back just as soon as we can. I blame Jimmy. It's all Jimmy's fault.
We take you down onto the track for our opening ceremonies.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise. Please remove your hats.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous flight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we are taking to the grid for tonight's Bumpy Buddy Zach 70. Thank you very much for joining me, and I know you all want to see how we start here tonight, so let's get right into it. Starting lineup for tonight's race. On the inside of row number 1, that is the 44 of Anthony English with a quick time of 48.715 to his outside. That is the 53 of Dave Hunt, who I owe an apology from last week, but we'll see if we can make up for that or not. But Dave on the outside of row number 1. Row 2, Richard Sanchez and Vicente Guerrero. Row number 3, Gabe Butler and Adam Kilday, as the field continues to roll out. Row number 4, Robert Morrison and David Booth. Row 5, Kody Neagles and Eric Laurie on the outside. Row number 6, Zach Fritsch and Andy Brigante. Moving on down the running order, row number 7, Jimmy Reynolds and Bubba Winningham. Good to see Bubba out here tonight. He is out there on the track. We missed him on Monday, but here he is on Wednesday night. Adam Strom and Nate Warren make up row number 8. And our final starting spot here tonight is none other than the illustrious, the oh so handsome, and by golly, I wish I was him, Lynn McNeese in the 84. Small field here tonight, but that's okay. We're here for it no matter what. Our championship field has been cut down to 8. 70 laps here at Bumpy Daytona for the Bumpy Buddy Zach 70. And there are quite a few plays on words, as there's trouble already in 3 and 4. Several drivers getting out of shape. Nate Warren, Zach Fritsch, holy cow, issues going down very early. Lynn McNeese getting caught up in it as well. We are going to extend the start by a lap. Not sure what happened there. Go on board with Lynn McNeese to see what happened. And this is before the green flag. Wow, already issues. Zach Fritsch in the 12. A little bit of an accordion effect. And the ARCA card, the bumpers just don't match up, and around goes the 12. So before we even get the green flag, we have some very interesting activities. All right, lights are out on the pace truck. We're gonna let them go next time around, as long as they can keep it clean and green, or the wheels down, or however you want to say it. That was just an unfortunate checkup, and let's be honest, even the pros get it wrong from time to time. So Anthony English, Dave Hunt on the front row for this one. Field making its way off of turn number 4. Here we go for the first time tonight. Anthony English, Dave Hunt on the front row, pace truck, eyeballing that inside release, down and away. Here we go. Green flag in the air. We are underway for the first time here tonight. .44 down on the inside, getting a healthy shove from Sanchez. They have the advantage through turns 1 and 2, but watch out for that high side as it makes its way down the backstretch. They have that momentum and they will take advantage of it. Oh, and Dave Hunt comes down, was not clear of the 44. Around he goes. And we are still green. Take another look at this one here. Hunt off of turn number 2, down the backstretch. And must have been some miscommunication. Either way, we stay green. Vicente Guerrero assumes the race lead. So Dave Hunt, big loser. Anthony English falling back mid-pack because of all of that. But they're coming around to complete the second lap. Working lap number 3 now. Vicente Guerrero in the 14 out in front. Kilday in the 85 tucked in behind him. Sanchez in the 5, third car on the inside line. Then we see the 6 of Kody, Neagles, and man, right then the 85 jumped up in front of him. Kilday taking full advantage of the momentum of the outside lane down the back stretch. Drops down to the inside through 3 and 4. David Booth in the 77 pushing hard on the back bumper of the 6. Fast lap of the race goes to the 13 of Andy Brigante, turning a 45.32. The Brigante on top of the leaderboard for right now. Let's go on board with this stud. I mean, holy cow, 45.32. This guy's getting after it. ARCA cars here at Daytona, very difficult navigations here. The front bumper and the back bumper do not match up. It is a very rough super speedway. So we are going to see these guys digging very hard all night long. So Kilday and Kody and Neagles is on the front row. Could be a restart if it wasn't for the fact that they were going almost 190 miles an hour down the backstretch. We do have 2 packs of cars. Our first group, 12 cars strong. Kody leads this pack. Fritsch, tail end of this group. And then our second group being led by the 17 of Jimmy Reynolds. He has Nate Warren and Lynn McNeese working with him. Adam Strom has pulled onto pit road, and that has left Dave Hunt in the 53, who was on the front row for the start of this race, 6 laps in, and he is already in serious trouble. And Dave, dang old dang, wanted to talk to you. May not work out, but I owe you one. You were a 3rd place finisher last week, and yeah, I got it wrong. It's fine. I can be wrong, can't I? I can make a mistake. These drivers make mistakes from time to time, don't they? I can make one. Not my fault. I'm innocent. Look at how pretty I am not. So Kilday and Neagles continue to lead from their front rows. Side by side, gonna start lap number 8. Let's go ahead and take a look at our race info for this one here. Our field was reset. We chopped off 8 drivers and we kept 8. All the points were reset from that. There's only 2 races in this second phase of our championship run. Therefore, that means it is down to no mistakes. You have to treat this as the last laps of a race, because your mistakes are going to cost you, once again, contact being made. Big time trouble, and around goes the field. Kilday comes out on top, but the yellow flag flies. And let's back this up and look at it. Eric Glory, hard impact. Andy Brigante going around. Multiple cars involved in this one. So our first caution flag of the night comes out as we are working lap 8. Everyone gonna hit pit road. I don't think we can make it from here to the end of the stage. We're gonna see. We're gonna see. It's gonna be maybe close. Now to the Niner, carry the alphabet, subtract the Zulu. It's fine. I'll figure it out. Eric Glory did not hit his pit box. He has drove through. Kilday down and away. All right, with that being said, guys, we're going to step away for a break. No one go anywhere. We'll be right back after this.
Racing. You wanted the best, you got him for a breast. Often imitated, never duplicated. The greatest show on dirt, the World of Outlaws.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Pace truck down and away. We're gonna fire off once again. Our first caution done and over with. Everyone making it back out there before they lost a lap. Green flag is out. Adam Kilday in the 85, leading the charge into turn number 1, down on the bottom. Sanchez in the 5. In that second lane, maybe having some momentum built up. Andy Brigante in the 13, and the 2 of Nate Warren. 3 cars making that second lane work. Gabe Butler in the 88 trying to push hard on the back bumper of the 85, and Sanchez gonna drop down to the inside. Looks like we do have a few cars falling back just a little bit. David Booth in the 77 maybe going to lose the draft here as we go on board with the 77. Booth finding himself just 2.5 seconds behind Robert Morrison, and that is outside of the draft. He is going to be all by himself and at the mercy of a caution. So Morrison at the tail end of this group. New fast lap of the race goes to the 66 of Bubba Winningham. Winningham turning a 45.14. As we go on board with the 66, he is tucked in behind the 12 of Zach Fritsch to his inside. That is the 17 of Jimmy Reynolds. ARCA cars and Daytona. This is a legendary matchup. As they make their way through the tri-oval. Sanchez in the 5 continues to hold the lead down on that inside, protecting that inside lane. Adam Kilday still committed to the back bumper. Brigante in the 13, trying to make that high side work for him. $16 laps into the race. Let's go ahead and take a look at what happened last week here on Wednesday night. Adam Kilday in the 85 picked up the race win. Here he is sitting second car on the inside lane. Travis Elliott brought it home in second place. Dave Hunt, the challenger here tonight. Third place finisher and final step of the podium. Gabe Butler in the 88. Butler finds himself running in 6th right now. And Dawson Wise rounds out your top 5. Dawson Wise not able to make it out here tonight. But our stage winner last week was the 88 of Gabe Butler. Speaking of our stages, let's look at our stage winners so far this season. Butler has 3. He's the only driver to score 3 wins this season. 4 stages. Neagles, 2 stages. Sebastian Marin, 2 stages. Vicente Guerrero, 2 stages. And then Hunt, Wise, Freeze, Reynolds, and English. Talk about a law firm, Reynolds English. There you go. That's a new law firm title. Several cars, ARCA cars, peeling off for pit road. Kilday leads the charge on the pit lane. That gives the race lead to Andy Brigante in the 13. Quasi Esports, stupid iRacing updates. Hey, how you doing, buddy? I'm bummed you didn't make it. Glad to see you say hello, though. Quasi Esports, I told you, turn your modem upside down. That way it'll probably work better. Next group on the pit road, Dave Hunt, Adam Strom, Andy Brigante, Lynn McNeese, and Vicente Guerrero. That leaves just Bubba Winningham and Jimmy Reynolds out on the speedway. Take a look at our point standings as we come into tonight's race. Cody Neagles, Gabe Butler, Vicente Guerrero, Zach Fritsch, Adam Kilday, Rick Sanchez, Dave Hunt, and Lynn McNeese are championship contenders. As Bubba and Jimmy hit pit road. Robert Morrison in the 916, maybe going to inherit the race lead here. Morrison takes over the top spot, but he is all by himself. Let's see how this works out for him. The Morrison, our race leader. And let's see if we can't get a little bit of flavor to this one. Mr. Hoppet, are you ready to broadcast here tonight?
Are you ready to rumble? Yes, I'm here.
Oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen, you are in for a special treat because we got a little bit of flavor from underneath the table, and that is none other than Mr. Steve Hoppet. Welcome, man. Thank you for joining me here tonight.
Yeah, not a problem at all. Thanks for having me in the booth, mate. It's a little bit of a problem with using the iRacing 1995 download server.
It can happen from time to time. Well, man,
yes.
Unfortunately for you, your updates did not take effect, so you could not make it out on the speedway. But lucky for me, you're ready to join me in the booth. So, man, thank you very much. We got Belva Feltz and Mixmaster PJ in our YouTube channel. So why don't you say hello to them?
Yeah, look, good day to everybody in the live chat there at the moment. There's Bubba. Yeah, was it Belva Feltz? Yeah, okay, great. I got no idea what that means or who it is, but yeah, great to have you there and everybody else that's in the live chat. And it's Quasi Esports, short for Quasimodo.
Oh, so you got the humpback and everything.
Yep. Long story, not going to go into it now, but we've got a great race happening in front of us. Richie Sanchez is having a great run tonight. And, yeah, where is Kody? Oh, he's moved up a little bit. Third back on the top row on the outside there. A couple of cars behind Gabe Butler, who's giving Richie a bit of a hard time at the moment.
Well, I'll tell you what, Steve, I gotta say, at least you're brave enough to join me in the broadcast booth. Keyboard warriors, they just, oh my gosh. It's hard to respect them, even if they're named Mixmaster PJ.
Well, yeah, we won't go there. I've seen some of the streams from Mr. Mixmaster PJ.
Oh, he streams? Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. I've never caught them.
He streams on
the algorithm has never decided that he's worthy.
Yeah, he streams on Twitch. A variety of games.
Oh, Eric Lurie down and below the yellow line, gathers it back in. Everyone blends in. So, Steve, we're having a good time poking fun at each other, but there's still a race going on out there, and they are three wide.
3 wide on Bumpy Daytona. I'm just waiting for it to happen.
Sooner or later, it's going to get rowdy. But we already had our first caution of the night. That being said, David Booth and Dave Hunt find themselves 1 lap down. They are working together, though. We'll see if they can find a way to settle out who's going to be the first 1 lap down.
Yeah, Adam Kilday's not having a bad run out there at the moment, KR.
No, Kilday's sitting in second place.
Yeah, sitting at, well, second at the moment. They're back to 2 wide now, which is probably the sensible option at this point in the race. There's still a fair way to go. What are we on lap about 25, are we? Out of a 70-lap race.
Oh, Zach. Oh, there goes David Booth. There goes Dave Hunt. Holy crap.
Oh, yeah. Well, hopefully they've all avoided the wall and across the infield they can rejoin without any damage. But poor old Zach there, it looks like he copped a little bit of a tap and got a little bit too loose. And that's the very, very bumpy Daytona down on that inside line.
All right, so yellow flag is out. And we saw 3 separate cars go spinning to the infield. And it started with the 12 of Zach Fritsch. Let's take a look here.
Funnily enough, Zach got loose and threw the flag himself. So,
this was just a wild chain of events here. Zach Fritsch
must have had his hands full.
Yeah, in the 12. I might have backed that up a little too far. Pretty sure I did. All right, give me just a second.
We'll just take a look at the order at the moment for everybody out there watching, and I believe we've got Adam Kilday coming up in the lead at the moment as we go under caution. Vince, Guerrero, Rick Sanchez, Kody Neagles, Gabe Butler rounds out your top 5.
All right, let's take a look at this. Off of the corner, the 77 and the 12 did not meet up. However, next time, like in the next moment, the 77 had his own issues. Let's take a look at it here. 53 got into it. The 53 checks up, and then around goes the 53. So the 3 cars on the inside lane. Holy smokes. Like, that was...
Yeah, that's where Zach got a little bit of a tap. And then, of course, due to a chain reaction after that, and Car's very lucky that it's a large infield at that point of the track. Although, yeah, no, they've come to grief in the wall now.
All right, with that being said, Adam Kilday in the 85 did not come down pit road. Andy Regante, the first car that did hit pit road, won the race off of pit lane. So Kilday, Guerrero, Neagles, Sanchez, Butler, McNeese, and Fritsch your top 7. Then Reynolds, Brigante, and Warren round out your top 10. All right, Steve.
All right, so what we're looking at the moment is that top 7 are all playoff drivers.
Yeah, top 7 playoff drivers.
And then Adam Schromm sitting in 8th behind that, with Eric Laurie, who's a playoff driver, in 9th, and Andy Brigante, who's not in the playoffs, and he's rounding out the top 10. Jimmy Reynolds sitting behind him. Then Nate Warren in 12th, Anthony English, Bubba Winningham, Rob Morrison. Dave Hunt is a playoff driver, lap down, and David Booth a lap down, who's not in the playoffs.
Yeah, and Booth is still sitting on pit road. So damage to that race car having to be hammered out. We're going to see the lights go out on the pace truck this time. But go ahead.
This is what happens. This is what happens at Bumpy. The slightest tap, if you're at normal Daytona or Talladega, that was probably a lot more catchable than it would be here. But that inside line right down low is that's the bumpiest part of the track.
Really?
I hope you didn't hear
that. So how do you...
inside line, as you go up the track, it becomes a bit smoother. But there are sections of the track that are just as bad as one another, but you get a bit smoother as you go up. I've no idea why. At least it's the way it feels to my poor old arthritic hands. But probably a little bit harder to catch it there when you get a bit of a tap like that. If it was Talladega or Daytona 2011, it would have probably been a little bit easier for him to catch it. But with the big bumps along that inside line, it's just very difficult to keep it. I thought they did extremely well to keep it off the wall as long as they did, to be perfectly honest. And that's mainly because it was a big infield. If it had been a narrow infield, then you would have seen a lot of carnage.
All right, well, I mean, the carnage is still happening here.
Yeah, I mean, as far as damage to the cars is concerned, because they would have been the concrete wall a whole lot closer than it was, you know.
Well, I mean, take it from me. I've hit a few walls in my lifetime, and it resets your brain from time to time. So
a little bit like life. A little bit like life sometimes. Yeah, it's just like banging your head against a brick wall. Not getting anywhere. So who we got up the front at the moment? Adam Kilday still sitting in first with Vince Guerrero in the 14 behind him. Well, next to him, sorry. And Kody is going to be wanting to give Vince a bit of a push.
He's giving it the beans.
He certainly wants those stage points, I think. We're not far. We're coming up to the stage. We're only a few laps away. It's going to be very interesting to see. There's Richie Sanchez, who's led a reasonable amount of this race early on. And he's sitting in the second row there, right behind Adam Kilday. So we'll see what sort of a push Richie can give Adam.
Well, I'll tell you what, they're going side by side in the 3 and 4. Kilday still hanging tough down on the bottom line. And James Bond, tell us a little bit about how you have to work that outside lane.
Well, the outside lane, it's still bumpy around here, but it depends on who it is. I mean, different people approach it differently, but you can see the outside lane's working quite well there at the moment. Kody seems to be moving around a bit. You can actually see, if you concentrate on the front splitters, the front bars on these cars, you can see how bumpy it is. The only other way to really tell how bumpy it is from the cockpit view. Otherwise, from the outside, if you watch the nose of the car, and you can see the way they're bouncing up and down as they go over those bumps. Kody's flickering in and out a couple of times there, at least he's on my screen. But Adam managed to pull a car length out, and he's got a little bit of an advantage there being on the inside line. And Richie seems to be doing a reasonable job of pushing him from behind. Kody's moving around a little bit there, but it is a difficult track to hold it steady. It's a really bad track for pushing and bump drafting, because you've got to be very careful that you square on. Otherwise, you can cause an absolute disaster.
Well, causing a disaster isn't what we're after, but with, let's say, 5 laps to go in the stage, how do you balance pushing hard on a back bumper versus causing an issue?
Well, it is a balance. It's a good word, because you can see Kody's trying to get as close as he can and push without really, because he's mindful of the fact that he's not square. So you've got to be square, especially around here, because if you hit one of those nasty bumps and you're slightly off, it will have a dramatic effect. I noticed if you watch Len McNeese closely, he's not getting any closer than about a half a car length behind Kody. He's keeping right off Kody's rear bar, and that's for a very good reason. You don't push the pusher, especially around here, because all Len's doing at the moment, you can see how much the cars are still moving around, and Zach's copped another bump, and he's gone.
He gone. Zach Fritsch involved, Bubba Winningham getting a piece of it. Several cars around here to bring out the yellow flag, and I think that is going to give the stage win to Vicente Guerrero. Let's take another look at it here. Fritchie goes, oh my goodness, hard hit. Is that Adam Strom? I think it was. Strom taking a top-down hit. Let's go on board. Oh, right into the outside wall.
Oh, yeah, big hit.
Oof. That's one of those that makes me glad that this was a simulator.
Yeah.
Oh. Strom taking a very hard hit. Not to discredit everyone involved in this one, but holy cow. You never want to see a top-down kind of hit.
Well, I hope he's still got his fast repair, because I've got a feeling he's going to need it after that one.
I don't think fast repair is all he's going to need. A couple brain cells and a reset of the hardware, if you will.
That was right up in the air. So yeah, if that was real life, then this race would be on hold for a while, waiting for the ambulance.
Mm-hmm. Checked out. Everyone holding their breath, waiting to see if he can get out of the car. But fortunately, it's a simulator, and we can keep going on, and Vicente Guerrero gonna lead this field on the pit road. That makes him our stage winner.
And it looks like everybody's hitting the pits.
Yep. Everyone following Vicente, the Italian stallion.
Well, I'm interested in the race off pit lane here, because this is going to be interesting amongst the guys that don't have major damage.
Vicente racing off the pit road.
Just interestingly, just looking at, I think it was Adam Kilday sitting in the pits there and testing his steering. The front wheels moving back and forward like he's testing the steering. So whether he copped a hit in that, I didn't notice.
All right, that being said, Steve, you want to talk to our stage winner? Because you don't have a choice. I'm going to make you talk to our stage winner.
All right, no worries, pop him through. Who we got?
Hello?
Vince.
Hey.
Hey, how are you, mate?
Good. How about yourself?
Ah, well, not too bad, except I didn't make the start due to an iRacing update that took about 5 years to do. Look, congrats on winning the stage, mate. How have you seen things out there so far? You seem to have managed to miss the bits and pieces that have been going on.
Yeah, I like that. I like missing all that, man.
Cody's been doing his best to give you a push tonight, but being Bumpy Daytona, he's also been mindful of the difficulty in doing that with the track surface. I haven't seen him giving you too many bumps tonight. He just seems to be trying to get as close as possible.
Yeah, that's that works pretty good. You know, just arrow push. You know.
Yep, just an arrow push rather than a bump. Normally we'd see him right up on your rear bar, but yeah, he's certainly he's playing it safe there today because with the dangers that we're all aware of at this track when you try and do that, because as I mentioned earlier, you've really got to be sure that you're square on, otherwise it's disaster time. And
well, you don't really want to get square on these cars here because it's kind of off-centered. You know, it's kind of, you know, the way this for the arrow on this car here, you kind of want to offset to the left a little bit.
The cars almost look like they're bent when you look at them like square on. So yeah, it's probably, I think Cody's done a good job of giving you a push there with just the using the aero. Unfortunately, as I said, you've missed the worst of it. Poor old Zach's been a victim a couple of times. You're in a pretty good position at the moment. We're midway through the race. How do you see the rest of it going? You got any kind of strategy for the rest of the race?
Yeah, the strategy number one is stay away from all the wrecks and have a clean car at the end, and hopefully up front somewhere, or we could bring it home for victory.
No worries. Well, the lights are out on the pace truck. We're going to let you get your head back into the game and concentrate on what you're doing. Good luck for the rest of the race, and hopefully we talk to you again at the end.
Thank you.
All right, that is the Italian stallion Vicente Guerrero. And Vicente, I'm just gonna leave you here. Get wrecked. Figure it out yourself. No, I can't do that. I'm gonna put him back down here. I'm gonna put him in the right channel. But all right, Steve, here we go. Take it away to the green flag, buddy.
Well, we're about to actually go back to green. We've got Nate Warren sitting at the front alongside Andy Briganti. With Vince and Kody in the second row. So it's going to be interesting to see how they play this. Once they go under green, if Andy and Nate get a good start, then the boys behind them in the second row there, including our stage winner, they're going to have to be on the ball to keep up. So it's going to be interesting to see. Andy usually gets a good start. Nate's pretty good. He knows his business. So it's going to be good to see. And there they go. They're under power. And Andy's opened up a little bit of a car length there, but Vince has actually closed that up. Cody's all over the back of Nate Warren as Nate pulls ahead up on that high line. He's pulled ahead into the lead. He's nosed in front of Andy Briganti, and I think he's actually trying to get enough room there that he can actually drop down to that inside line. And there he goes now. He's made the move.
We go on board with the 14 of Vicente Guerrero, the Italian stallion. He moves up to the high side. He tucks in behind the 53 of Dave Hunt. Dave Hunt had a few issues earlier in this race. He is trying to get back on the lead lap. Hunt finds himself 15th place in this running order, but he is at the front of this field and maybe has an opportunity to make something happen.
Yeah, a couple of those earlier incidents haven't done Dave Hunt any favours, and he finds himself sitting at the pointy end of the field, even though he's a lap down. So he'll actually just be working hard to try and stay where he is and wait for an opportunity. He's in a perfect spot to get the lucky dog and get that lap back.
All right, so Kody Neagles finds himself in front of the field. The two of Nate Warren trying to take that race lead away. Down on the bottom, Adam Strom, the driver of the 087, out of the race. David Booth sitting on pit road. Two cars out of the race. One car not on the lead pack, or sorry, on the lead lap. That is the 53 of Dave Hunt. So things continue to cycle through. We have our first stage done and in the books, and we work on to our second half of the race.
Vicente's just he's opted to go right up the top end, the far outside now, and almost a third lane. But there's a bit of a tap. Oh yes.
Oh, he did.
Yeah, Adam gave Kody a bit of a tap there, and Kody sideways. So that's brought out another caution.
And Andy Brigante pointed the wrong way. How's he? He ran over a cone. Yep, perfect. All right, Andy's back out there. All right,
Andy's
so yellow
up and running back on the track surface again. Managed to give the wall a bit of a nudge, but I don't think it was too serious, so he shouldn't have a lot of damage. Taking out that cone, I don't know whether iRacing will actually penalise him for that or not. But that's mixed up the front of the field a little bit.
just
Nate
a bit.
Nate Warren and Gabe Butler still up there. With Nate Warren sitting at the front with Gabe Butler behind him. And the 85 of, was that Adam Kilday? Sitting in behind Gabe Butler. And it's only been a couple of laps since we went to the pits, so wait to see who opts to actually go in. Obviously, anybody that's got damage might opt to go in. I don't know whether anybody really needs to go in and top up fuel at this point. It's only been a couple of laps under green.
Well, either way, it looks like here they all come on the pit road.
Going in anyway.
I'm gonna come on the pit road.
And I'm just looking to see if anybody's opted to stay out and try and make up positions that way. But it doesn't look like it. Looks like the entire field's pitted.
They all have. Everyone on pit road. The only driver that was already there is Anthony English. Lights the tires. Not sure what 44 was doing there.
Well, Zach Fritsch has gotten out ahead of quite a few people there in the race off pit road. Zach currently coming up as being in 6th place, but that will probably shuffle the order a bit.
No, it's shuffled. It's shuffled for sure.
He's got Nate Warren right behind him.
All right, here they come down the backstretch. Zach Fritsch in the 12 scored as our race leader coming off of pit road. Nate Warren second. Third goes to Vicente Guerrero. Gabe Butler fourth. And rounding out the top 5 is Rick Sanchez in the number 5.
It's nice to see Rick having another good run tonight.
Absolutely. I think Rick is deserving of another win here on Wednesday night. But Steve, I think you're deserving of a win. Are you going to get it done next week?
Mate, we turn up and we do the best we can, and we see how things work out during the race.
Okay.
I don't come in with any great expectations. The only thing I want to do is have a clean race and finish towards the pointy end. The further forward, the better. But unfortunately, circumstances don't always allow for that.
All right, I'm gonna have to teach you how to cheat to win. Okay, that's all. That's all I have to say. All right, have you downloaded griphacks.com?
Never heard of it.
Oh, don't be innocent here. All right, go to griphacks.com, download that program, and then do everything you can to win the next race.
Well, I always do everything I can to have a good race and try and finish as far forward as I can. But with only a few rounds left in the playoffs, I'm sort of already starting to think about the next season. And of course, with serious arthritis through my hands and joints, it tends to hold me back a little bit.
Oh, all right. You don't need griphacks.com. You need lubemyjoints.com.
Well, what I need is medical science to actually get to the point where they can just put my brain in a decent body, and then I won't be in so much pain.
Ugh. I'll tell you what, Steve. I'm not far behind you. I'm not looking forward to it. But man, oh man.
It's just a consequence of leading a full life, not spectating from the sidelines.
I know. I have had too many concussions. I have had too many impacts with walls. I'm with you, man.
Well,
I'm just a few years behind you, but I understand.
Even though being in Australia, I did spend about 9 seasons playing American football, and I was told back then I'm going to pay for it eventually. And, I am.
All right, here we go. We're going to fire him off once again. Zach Fritsch on the inside of row number 1 with Nate Warren to the outside. Vicente Guerrero, the Italian Stallion, with Gabe Butler, the Irish drinker, the 88 on the throttle. Here we go once again. Back underway. Green flag in the air.
Expected to see Kody Neagles pull to that outside line because he's sitting at the tail end here at the moment, and he's not going to be too happy about being back there.
A light field here tonight, and we have 2 cars out of the race. David Booth scored in 17th spot, Adam Strom in 16th. All the cars that are on the speedway are on the lead lap. Adam Kilday, Jimmy Reynolds, they are the last 2 cars on this scoring loop, and they are all on the lead lap. So with that being said, that means that we have 15 cars on the lead lap. We're working lap 43 here at the Bumpy Buddy Zach 70. And Zach, you're my buddy. By golly, you are Bumpy. And we all know I did a full play on words. And Steve, take it away from here because I'm drowning.
Look, obviously the person who benefited most out of that caution period was Dave Hunt, who was a lap down, and he's now back on the lead lap and sitting about 5 cars back at the moment from the lead. So back on the lead lap, he's contending all over again. Dave Hunt sitting currently in 6th according to my list, or 7th, and now 3 cars back on that outside line in the 53 car. He's following Len McNeese, who's in behind Gabe Butler, and that's your front 3 cars. There goes Kody. He's going to go 3 wide here and take somebody with him. I think that's Adam, actually, Kilday. And he's going to follow Kody around the outside at the top. That's a very dangerous place to be around here. Len McNeese moving around a little bit there, and Cody's probably doing a little bit of butt clenching, watching Len McNeese move around a bit as he puts up a fight. And as I said, he's got Adam Kilday behind him, and they're 3 wide at the front, coming around a 2008 Daytona. Very bumpy stuff. Nate Warren moving around in that inside line, and Gabe Butler in the middle line leading him through there. Kody and Adam putting up a great fight on the outside, and there's a lot of wiggling going on. Len McNeese very loose there.
Holy cow, 3 wide, side by side by side. Kody in the 6 on the high, wide, and handsome line. Down on the bottom, the 88 of Gabe Butler, and right smack dab in the middle is Jaws himself, Len McNeese, in the 84.
Eric Laurie there was leaving a bit of room with so much movement at the front there with the cars wandering around on the track, and 3 wide. And I think Eric Laurie's actually being a little bit discreet there at the moment. He's dropped from about 2 car lengths behind Dave Hunt to about 6. And that inside line is actually being favoured at the moment by just about everybody. We've only got 2 cars on the middle and outside line. And then car 13 of Vandy Briganti is also holding back a bit.
So 3 wide down the backstretch, a little bit of contact coming off a turn 2 with that outside wall. Gabe Butler in the 88 takes over the race lead. we're going to have 23 laps to go this time by. And with that being said, these guys cannot make it to the end of this race without one more pit stop. So Steve, as our most recent driver of all of us in the broadcast booth, when do you come down pit road?
Depending on how much fuel they've got, you try and leave it as late in the race as possible, obviously, because what you want to allow for is not just the normal time laps. You've got to also go, well, yeah, I want enough in the car that if we've got a green, white checker, I don't want to have to stop again, especially if you're a few cars back and you're hoping to make up some spots later in the race. If there's a green, white checker, my strategy is always to try and have enough fuel on board that I don't need to pit at the last minute. Stay out, make up some spots for that green, white checker. But that's going to be the balancing act. We're on lap 49. We've got 21 laps to go. I'm guessing somewhere between laps 12 and 15, we'll probably see the guys coming in.
All right, so 22 laps to go. They all still have to make one more pit stop, and you're saying 12 to 15 laps to go. We'll see them all on pit road. I dig it. I think it's a right call. I think we'll see them on pit road, like you said, 15 laps to go, and by the time it's all said and done, everyone will have completed their final pit stop or final necessary pit stop with 12 to 11 laps to go. So with that being said, right now, McNeese in the 84, he is our biggest mover of the race from where he qualified. He has passed 16 cars to be at the front. And I'll tell you what, if McNeese can win this race, that would be, I think, the first time I've called a win for McNeese, maybe the second.
Well,
I'm here for it. That's all I have to say. I'm here for it, Lynn.
He's in a great spot at the moment. With one pit stop to go in probably about 10 or 11 laps time to get to the end. McNeese is in a great position, and he's got Gabe Butler behind him, and he knows what to do as far as pushing's concerned. Dave Hunt at the front on that outside line, and he's got Kody Neagles behind him. Now, Cody's not going to be there just to push Dave Hunt. He's just going to be waiting for an opportunity to try and take that spot. At some point, I expect to see Kody try and move around him. He's got Adam behind him. So those front three cars on the outside, there's a bit of wiggle in there from Kody, but he's trying to get, he's obviously pushing Dave, and he knows he needs to. But that's just as much to advantage himself as anybody else. If he can actually get Dave Hunt far enough ahead of McNeese, then both those front cars can drop down to the inside line. And Len is going to do everything he can to stop that. Gabe doesn't want it to happen either. And then Nate Warren in behind Gabe Butler. We've got poor old Fritsch, who's been one of the biggest victims tonight. He's sitting 4 cars back from the front, and he'll just be waiting for an opportunity as well.
Let's go on board with the 12 of Fritsch, as he is down on the inside line. Adam Kilday in the 85 to his outside, just ahead of him. That is the 2 of Nate Warren. And you can see how much movement happens through the corner as we have 18 laps to go. These guys putting it all on the line. Long race here. Mental fatigue going to start setting in. Steve, how long can you race with your elbows up?
Around this track, well, the adrenaline actually kicks in, and you tend to get wrapped up in the intensity of it, and you tend not to even notice how many laps have gone, how many minutes have gone. You're too busy concentrating on what's going on. And these guys are coming in a bit earlier than I expected. 17 laps to go, and we've got Vicente and Nate Warren coming together as they enter the pit. These guys have come in several laps ahead of where I expected. I don't know whether this is going to actually really be a great idea, because I would have actually, as I said before, I tipped them to come in between 12 and 15 to go, and that's about 16, 17 to go, which would put them right on the fringe of the tank's worth. So whether they're expecting to come in again with a couple of laps to go, I don't know. And now the rest of the field's also coming in now. So very surprised at that. I thought they would have stuck it out a little bit longer.
All right, so everyone will have completed a pit stop here. Of our drivers who have hit pit road, Gabe Butler is in front. Here comes Sanchez in the 5, along with Vicente Guerrero behind him. These guys gonna try and build some momentum, make something happen, but they have to figure out how they can get around the drivers who are now making their way off of pit road.
Well, you've just seen that'll be a fuel-saving move by Gabe Butler. He's actually moved to the outside. Now he's dropped back and he's in behind Vicente, sitting in third spot, I believe. That'll be a fuel-saving move. If you're third car, you're going to use less fuel than the guys in front of you. So he's going to rely on Richie and Vicente to actually use a bit more fuel now, and Gabe's on a fuel-saving move, knowing that he has to drag that out, that fuel load, as long as possible.
As they make their way across the start-finish line, Kody in the 6th leads this race. 15 laps to go. Steve, go ahead and pick up where I cut you off.
No, you're right, mate. I was just going to say, he'll probably benefit now by getting an extra lap or two out of that tank of fuel. Richie's probably going to use the most out of that group there. Now, Gabe's moved down to the bottom line, and he's still sitting in behind Richie, who's moved back to the outside again. So there's a bit of musical chairs going on here at the moment, KR.
Musical chairs is a nice way to put it. I will say David Booth in the 77, who I think that number belongs to me and me alone. David Booth has rejoined the race. He has gotten back out there after 33 minutes of repairs. He has rejoined. He is getting back after it. Adam Strom's still not out. He is back behind the wall, still working on that race car. I don't think we're going to see him again. But with that being said, that gives us 15 cars on the lead lap. Those 15 cars are digging hard right now. Gabe Butler, Richard Sanchez running 1 and 2 in their respective lanes.
We've still got Bubba Winningham out there, and that's fantastic to see. Rob Morrison's having a good run tonight too in the STP car. Great looking race car.
Ooh, talking about great looking race cars, Han Greedo is joining us finally in YouTube chat. Han, I believe you shot first, and Greedo is basically a scrub. So nice job, Han.
Only one question for Han Greedo. Who shot first?
Han. That's not a question. Like, I'm offended that we have to ask that.
Well, we don't have to ask it. I just thought, yeah.
I mean, if you're over 12 years old, you know Han shot first. If you're under 12, you're like, I don't know what the question means.
Well, if you're under 12, you think that the Disney Star Wars is real Star Wars, but yeah, we won't go there. Okay, so we've got Rick Sanchez still leading this from Gabe Butler, Vince Guerrero, and Zach Fritsch. All those four sitting at the front there at the moment. Kody's sitting back behind Vince, and Andy Briganti sitting third car back on the inside line. Rob Morrison, as I said, having a great run tonight in that 916 STP car. Now, Rob is not a playoff driver, but he's got himself in a good position there to get a really decent result. So that'll be satisfying for him.
I'll tell you what, that 916 looks beautiful. STB paint scheme. Anytime you throw one of those out, man, you got my attention.
Well, I'm just looking at it because the STP scheme, when it was being raced by the King himself, it actually went through variations, and I'm just looking at that, and I think that's actually the scheme that he had on his Pontiac for a couple of years, because there's a lot more red on it than there is blue. But I could be wrong. I'm no expert. I'm just sort of my old memory could be playing tricks on me. But yeah, it looks a lot like the Pontiac scheme that he raced for a couple of years with a lot of red on it. Now these guys are coming up on. We've got 3 cars at the front there. Now Dave Hunt, who, if he's not careful, is going to actually. Whoa!
Oh, and around they go. Hard impact.
Yeah, Rob Morrison into the wall. Now, I don't know whether he got a tap first, but when he actually came off the wall, there was a couple of other cars came together and plowed back into him.
We stay green. Zach Fritsch held on to that
We're inside
throughout the fact
10.
that he was down through the grass and everything. He's going to lose a bunch of time, but we stay green.
Yeah, we stay green because we're inside the last 10 and it's iRacing cautions only.
And now the yellow flag is out.
Ah, well, there you go. Just called me a liar because Zach Fritsch and Jimmy Reynolds both threw a flag.
All right, let's take a look here at what happened to the 12. Nope, did not back that up far enough. Give me a second here.
Yeah, I'm under the impression that the last 10 laps is iRacing.
I think it was right at the limit,
only.
And they did creative liberties.
And Zach's seen that there was multiple cars involved in that, so he's automatically thrown the caution.
We're on board with Zach, and you can see him get out of shape. Drive through the grass.
I'm really interested to see what happened to Rob Morrison there because he ploughed into the wall, and I don't know whether he got a tap first. It looks like Zach got a tap there because it was very sudden movement. It wasn't
Well,
a
let's go
smooth
on board
movement
with
around.
Robert Morrison. You can see he's already out of shape here. And we'll back that up just a little bit more. Here we go, off of turn number 2. Yeah, it's just a chain reaction.
Yeah.
I mean, not much you can
that's a
do there.
shame. Yeah, that's a bit of a shame. But everybody's still circulating, and we've got a few guys coming in. Rob Morrison, Len McNeese, and there was another car behind Len there, but I didn't see who it was.
Well, I'll tell you what, Steve. Either way, we're getting down to the nitty gritty. Single digits. That means I'm counting the laps down on one hand.
Yeah,
is it one hand?
We're down to I think 6. Well, it depends on which hand you're using what for, and down to about 6 laps to go. And
oh yeah, that totally one hand.
Just looking to see who's at the front. Now, we've got Gabe Butler leading from Richie Sanchez. The Italian stallion in behind him there, Vince Guerrero, and Kody
I don't want
Neagles.
to talk about him.
Andy Briganti sitting there in about 5th, and Eric Laurie in behind him in the 071 car.
Ooh, I like those. I like those names. Hey, I'll tell you what, speaking of names, David Booth who has gotten back out there. He is about 1 lap away from passing Adam Strom and taking over 16th spot. Now, that may not be sexy, but the 77 has been able to get back out there, and he will gain a spot because of that. Adam Strom looks like he's not able to continue, and I always will point out, I love a driver who does not give up until the checkered flag falls.
Something else I was noticing I was going to point out as well. It's great to see Dave get back out there. 33 minutes in the pits. You're not a playoff driver. It would be fairly understandable and forgivable to actually say, I'm not going to sit here for half an hour for nothing. But he wanted to finish the race. He's back out there. He's having a crack. Yeah, I mean, within a couple of laps, he'll pick up a spot from Adam Strom and finish 16th. So that's good for Dave. It's great to see him out there.
Yeah, that's the only spot he's going to gain. And 2 things. One, ladies and gentlemen, if you would like to vote that I am the sole owner of the number 77 in OP Racing, please let me know, because that is my number, and David Booth has stolen it from me. If you think David Booth owns it, keep that opinion to yourself, but let me know.
So at the moment, what we've got is 1, 2, 3, 4. The front 4 cars are all playoff drivers. Then we've got Andy Briganti and then Eric Laurie, who's also in the playoffs. So Eric's got himself in a really good spot here, sitting in behind Kody on the outside behind Gabe Butler. Jimmy Reynolds, then Bubba Winningham. Now Zach's sitting back in, I think, 9th spot at the moment, and he's a playoff driver. Then we've got Nate Warren in 10th. Len McNeese is playoff driver in 11th. And Anthony English, who's not, then Dave Hunt, who is, and he's on the lead lap. So he's going to be hoping for a clean and competitive run for the rest of this. Going to be interesting to see the start here. Will Ritchie get a good start here and hold first place once we go green? Or will Gabe actually manage to get a good push and a good start and disappoint Ritchie? I expect to see the 2 of these going side by side up that through that the other second half of the tri-oval once they actually get the green light.
All right, here we go. Pace truck on the pit road. Green flag in the air. Gabe Butler, Rick Sanchez side by side, and the 5 has the advantage going into turn number 1. The 14 of Vicente Guerrero digging very hard, all up in that grill. He is working hard on the inside lane. Somebody better show him some RASPICT.
Well, Vince has given a really good push to Richie Sanchez there. And, poor old Gabe Butler's just lost out.
Oh, Cody's dead.
Kody
Jimmy's dead. Yellow flag out. They're all dead.
Yellow flag, yep. Yeah, Kody jumped down into a space there on the inside line and copped a bit of a bump from, I can't remember who, but somebody was behind him there.
All right, yellow flag coming out with 5 laps to go. Let's see if we can't back this up just a little bit and see what happened.
The iteration chat's going off. I think Kody a little bit upset about that one.
Well, I mean, Andy did get into his back bumper, but I mean, there's a bit of a check up there.
We're what, 3 laps short, I think, for regular time. So we'll avoid the green-white checker at the moment. How many of these guys are going to top up for fuel? This is going to be the question. With 3 laps to go, you'd want to be really desperate for fuel to make the stop here, I think. I personally wouldn't. If I've got enough fuel to go the distance and risk the green-white checker, I would stay out. Because you're going to give up a spot. So, what do we... what was it, 50? 53, I think, lap 53 they last pitted. So there could be a couple of guys out there that are not sure they're going to have enough to go the distance. And it looks like there's a few guys going to come. It looks like McNeese is going to come in. Nope, he's staying out. Yep, no, he is. He's coming in. Eric Laurie's coming in. Poor old Zach Fritsch has been on the receiving end of just about everything tonight.
Oh, he hasn't received everything.
He's managed to get away without any major damage, I think, but he just seems to be getting tapped.
Oh,
in
hey,
just about every incident.
By the way, David Booth got one of his 30 laps back.
So David moves up to
I
6
think this
times.
is his comeback tour. All kidding aside, David Booth did get that lap back. He is so many laps down that doesn't matter, but he is the only car, ARCA, whatever. He's the only one out there that is not on the lead lap. They're going to give him that one. He's going to come around. Sanchez, our race leader. That means that all 15 cars are on the lead lap. David Booth, multiple laps down. Adam Strom out of this race. So, had to make a joke. David, I get it. You want to keep going, but holy cow, he's not gonna get past 16th spot.
Well, I'm looking at two guys at the moment sitting just outside the top 3, and that's Anthony English and Bubba Winningham, neither of which are playoff drivers, but sitting 4th and 5th on track at the moment. Then we've got Zach Fritsch and Adam Kilday, Eric Laurie, Dave Hunt, all of which are playoff drivers, and that's your top 9. Then Nate Warren, who's not in the playoffs, rounding out the top 10 at the moment, KR.
Did you say Mike Hunt?
Dave Hunt.
Oh, Dave Hunt. Okay.
His brother here.
Oh, his brother. Oh, I didn't know they were brothers.
Well, they're probably related.
No, I don't think they're related. No. All right, so here they go. Stacked up side by side, 2 by 2. Sanchez, Butler, English, Guerrero, Fritsch, and Winningham. I'll tell you what, we missed Bubba on Monday night, but here he is, ready to finish this one out. So Bubba, that pink and black number 66, thank you very much for sticking it out this entire race, man. I hope the best for you. I don't know how it's going to go in these 3 laps, but dang old dang, glad to see you still out here with us.
Well, Richie Sanchez leading the outside line, Gabe Butler leading the inside line. Gabe's got Vicente behind him, and Richie's got Anthony English behind him. So this is going to be very interesting, this start, with a couple of laps to go. I think we've got 2 green laps, and if we can stay clean, that'll be it. We won't get a green-white checker. So let's see how we go. The race off the tri-oval, when we go green, between Richie and Gabe, with those 2 pushes behind them, is going to be very interesting. Zach Fritsch sitting in behind Anthony English on that outside line is going to be very interested in how things go on the restart. And I'm going to wait and see whether Zach tries to actually move to the outside. Once he gets a bit of momentum, he may even go to the outside and try and get around Anthony and Rick.
All right, here we go. Green flag about ready to fly. Bubba Winningham, the 66 of Chevyland. Nets Pie, good to see you. Thank you very much for saying hello. 2 laps to go in this race. We are back after it. Holy cow, who's going to pick up the win?
Gabe Butler's got a little bit of a nose in front there at the moment, but Richie's not letting him get away. Vince is actually in behind Gabe, and he's pushing really well. Anthony's trying to get Rick up there, and they are side by side coming up the back straight. It's a drag race, and Richie's up the front. Anthony's doing a great job of pushing there, and Richie Sanchez is literally in front of Gabe Butler, but he's just not able to hold it there. Gabe's got the advantage of being on the inside line.
Off of turn number 2, coming to the white flag. All we have to do is take that white flag, and this race has one more lap to go. The 88 and the 5 side by side into turn number 1.
Yeah, Gabe's definitely got the advantage there, and if Vince keeps pushing the way he is, you're going to see Richie fall back to 3rd. Now and we've got a 17 car come across straight into the 2 car of Nate Warren. But I think we're under white, which means that there's no caution, so we stay green.
They make their way off of turn number 4. Gabe Butler, Richard Sanchez. Sanchez has the advantage at the line, and he is going to pick up the race win. English in 2nd. 3rd goes to Vicente Guerrero. Holy cow. I was not ready for that finish.
Yeah, great finish. Congrats, well done to Richie, and there was a big fight there at the end. A lot of that, I think, might have been the pushing from Vince Guerrero. Anthony put in a hell of a job on the back of Richie's car as well.
I'm going to go ahead and fire off our race results for this one here tonight. Sanchez picks up the race win. Anthony English in 2nd. 3rd goes to the Italian Stallion. Gabe Butler 4th. Rounding out your top 5 is Dave Hunt. Bubba Winningham 6th. 7th goes to Zach Fritsch. Lynn McNeese 8th. 9th, Adam Kilday. Andy Brigante 10th. 11th, Kody Neagles. Robert Morrison in 12th. 13th, Eric Laurie. Jimmy Reynolds 14th. 15th is Nate Warren. David Booth 16th. And Adam Strom 17th. So with that being said, let's move into our post-race interviews. And Steve, you want to talk to our race winner?
Let's do it.
All right, that is Mr. Sanchez, and I got him. Here we go. Steve, take it away as you talk to our race winner.
Mr. Sanchez, congratulations on the win. How are you?
Hey, Steve, what's going on, buddy?
Well, yeah, not a lot from my point of view. I was just sitting watching a great finish on that race. Well done on the finish, buddy. Really well deserved. Are you still doing your celebratory burnouts or not?
I'm done now. Yeah, I owe that one to Anthony. He gave me some great pushing there at the end.
Yeah, there was some good pushing from Anthony there. Vince tried to get Gabe across the line, but you guys just had the edge there at the end, and coming home 1-2, you and Anthony English. So well done. How did you see the race? Are you glad to see the bumpy Daytona behind you?
Yeah, I think I've been at this track, it seems like, for a month now. I'm kind of tired of it. I'm like you, I got arthritis, and it gets kind of old after a while.
Yeah, it's not a fun track with that. I was actually I was going to race, but had problems with the iRacing update that was available, and didn't make it in time.
Well, you missed getting beat up.
Well, yeah. From what I saw, there was a bit of it. Talk us through those last few laps. I mean, you obviously knew that Gabe was going to push hard, and you had Vicente there as well. What was going through your mind those last couple of laps? It was just a matter of let's just not come together, or you were just concentrating on what Gabe was doing?
Yeah, we were kind of working there together a little bit. And we were keeping an eye on Vinny and Kody on what they were going to do. And, we figured whether, try and hook up, get lined up together, and we got to get ready for it. So that's kind of it. Just trying to stay clean. And
well, you managed
hoping for a lot of luck, to win one of these races. You got to have a lot of luck.
Well, yeah, it takes a lot of luck, and there is a lot of luck around this track, especially. The cars move around a hell of a lot. Did you have any real issues with the bumpiness? The outside line there is not as bad as the inside line. What's your preferred line around this track?
Well, there's pros and cons to both. The bottom, like you said, is a little more bumpier. But being on the outside, I feel a little more vulnerable to somebody on the bottom, not being able to stay down there. So.
Yeah, being on the outside, you know where to go if something happens. But being on the inside, if you see it quickly enough and you react well enough, you can at least head to the infield and try to avoid any trouble. A little bit hard on the outside, and all you've got on your right-hand side is a concrete wall and a car on the other side. So
exactly.
So being in the playoffs, that's their points. They are valuably, like, really needed. So you must be really stoked that you've managed to pull off a win in the playoffs and so close to closing out the championship.
Yeah, I haven't had a whole lot of luck over here at OP, and so this one feels really good. And I'm not real sure where I was in the points. I just kind of let those fall where they are. But yeah, anytime you can finish in the top 5, it feels good, and damn sure get a win. So. I think I got some stage points too, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, you probably were. Yeah, because you were up towards the front there when the stage closed out. Vicente got the stage win, but I don't recall, to be honest, where exactly you were located. But I'm pretty sure you would have picked up some stage points. So add that to the win, and that's probably put you in a pretty good position heading into next week's round.
Yeah, I hope that I can keep on moving.
Yeah. All right. Well, we won't have the bumpiness next week, so we'll see how we go. Maybe it's better that we go back to bumpy Daytona, and it sort of equals things out a little bit.
Yeah, I'm ready for smooth Talladega or smooth Daytona.
Yeah. All right. No worries. Look, congrats again, mate. Well done on the win, and we'll see how that places you with only a few rounds to go before the end of the championship. So congrats again, Richie Sanchez, on the win, and we'll see how you can see if you can repeat that next week.
All right. Thanks, buddy.
No worries. See you later, mate.
Take care.
All right, that was Richard Sanchez, our race winner. But now let's move on to our second place finisher, and that is the driver of the 44, none other than Anthony English. Anthony, you got your ears on, bud?
Sir.
Man, I'll tell you what, that 44 brought it home in second place, and holy cow, that was a wild race for you.
Yeah, I was in something at the beginning. I was in something at the quarter phase of it. I was in something at the stage, and then I messed up my pit. Yeah, it was kind of crazy. So, and then I got a little lucky though. I got a couple things go my way at the end there. I missed that big wreck, so that got me a bunch of spots and stuff there. And we ended up still staying on the lead lap barely to even have a chance to get back up here. So I had a little better luck at the end, just a little.
Well, Anthony, tough break for you. I mean, this one comes a little bit a day late, dollar short. Your championship run is over with, but a solid second place finish nonetheless. Are you going to pick up some more wins and show these guys, hey, I might not be in the championship, but I'm still capable of winning?
Well, yeah, I know I came up a little short. Ain't nothing you can do. You have some good races, you have some bad races, but I can't blame anybody but myself for putting myself in some of the positions I was in the last couple of weeks to end up, not actually running for it now. But I don't know. You might see me scheme one in here, but I'm all about team playing right now. Richard, Adam, Gabe, all them guys that we run with on that channel we've been running with. I'm pretty much just trying to help out those guys in the playoffs and see what we can do. like tonight, I was able to get behind Richard, and we had a good run there. I pushed the crap out of him those last 2 laps and picked him up a win. So, congratulations, Richard. Much deserved. You don't get many of those, so that's probably huge for him. But yeah, it was. It's nice to just come back even afterwards just to get a second place. Gives you a little bit more momentum, builds that confidence back up.
Well, man, nice job here tonight. One more time, shout outs, thank yous, anything you need to add for this solid second place finish here tonight?
Everything you guys do at Turn 3 Broadcast, and you, and I think Steve, I see Steve in the channel. Is he helping you tonight?
Help is a loose term.
Big shout out to you.
Try to get in the way, actually.
Oh, you guys do great. No, but firstly, big shout out to you guys, and OP, all the admins, everything they do. My beautiful girlfriend who lets me do this, and all the team guys I was running with tonight. We did what we could, try to get the best finishes for everybody, and it was I think overall good night. So yeah, on to next week.
All right, man. Well, nice job. We hope to see you next week, and good luck. I know your season's over with as far as the championship, but man, good luck in winning some more races. I know you're capable of it.
Thank you, KR. You haven't seen the last of me.
I'm glad you threw in the thank you to the girlfriend there, Anthony, because we know what happens at award nights when people forget to thank a family member. They never live it down.
Oh yes, I've learned that the hard way. But yeah,
no, without thank yous to the girlfriend, you'd be missing next week.
Oh yeah, I'd be missing every week. What are you talking about?
All right,
congrats, mate. Well done. Great push.
Thank you.
There we go.
Steve, thank you.
Anthony English, our second place finisher. All right, Steve, we got one more to get to. That's our third place finisher. And that is none other. Oh, hold on. I hit the wrong button. Hold on. No.
Oh, what's happened?
I hit the wrong button. All right. I got it. Hold on. We're going to talk to our third place finisher. And that is none other than the Italian stallion, Vicente Guerrero. Vicente, got yours on? No, no one cares about you. Okay, moving on.
10-4.
We already spoke.
Steve, go ahead and take it away with Vicente.
Well, we get to have another chat, mate. How are you?
Good.
Third place and a stage win. That's a good haul of points for the championship. You gave a good push there to Gabe, but it just didn't quite sort of help him out at the end. I mean, you ended up taking the spot off him. But yeah, Bumpy Daytona, it's behind you now. We get back to somewhere nice and smooth next week. What are your thoughts on getting through that round? How did you see the night?
Seen tonight, good points night overall. I was pushing Gabe for all worth as much as I could and got him a little bit loose there. And I just pulled out a little bit so I wouldn't wreck and, salvage a good finish. Feel bad about that. But a good points night overall, and looking for the next week, just have another good points night, and hopefully I point myself into the chase, if not go for a win.
I noticed you managed to do that without your usual partner in crime in the number 6 car as well. He was disadvantaged by, I think, that last caution, that last incident where he ended up just outside the top 10 at the end there. So otherwise he would have been right up behind you trying to get you across the line. But you pulled the podium off and you've got a good haul of points tonight. So great driving, great pushing at the end there. Just a little bit unfortunate coming together with the back Gabe's car. But yeah, look, that's great with just a few rounds of the championship left to go.
Yeah, it was a good race. Good race.
Any shout outs, thank yous, anything like that you want to give, mate, while you got the chance?
Yeah, I want to thank OP for putting on this league, and KR and you in the booth today broadcasting. I can't wait to go watch this one back. I want to thank all the admins that put this league together and what they do here. I want to thank all the fellow competitors here that show up every week, to have a good fun time. I want to thank my teammates tonight. Rob and Kody, and I want to thank my wife for sure. I want to make sure she gets recognized too. If it wasn't for her, I wouldn't have time here to have fun with you guys.
Yeah, they can be fairly tolerant of our hobby.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, well, to be honest, with my wife, she looks forward to the quiet time away from me.
I would say the same thing, but my setup's here in the living room, and she's yeah, I'm really loud. She's all she has to turn up the volume on the TV, and yeah, so it's
hey, Vicente, is she looking for a quiet house?
No.
No? Oh.
No.
I'm asking for a friend. Just saying.
We already have a quiet room, so that's good enough.
Oh, okay. But like, if I were to say hello and I have a quiet living room.
No.
Oh, damn it. Okay. All right. Well, Vicente, you know I love you. You know I love your family. Nice job, man. Bringing it home in third place here tonight.
Thank you, Care.
All right. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, Vicente Guerrero, our final step of the podium. Steve, thank you very much for joining me, man.
Yeah, no, it was great, mate. Yeah, no, I had a blast.
All right. With that being said, we got nothing left but the crying. And by that, I mean signing off. So, Steve, why don't you sign us off for this one here tonight?
All right, on behalf of Turn 3 and KR Stolfus, thanks very much for watching tonight. It's been a great night. Congrats again to our top three, Richie Sanchez, Anthony English, and Vince Guerrero. And condolences to Gabe Butler, who almost got there. And we've only got a few rounds left of the championship at OP Racing in our Grand National Series. So we'll catch up with you next time around. Thanks very much for joining us.
With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.